Hello and welcome to the Infernal Gaming Podcast. You can listen to this show on Apple, Spotify, and all other major platforms. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, make sure you like and comment.
All right, cool. So where do we want to begin?
Yeah, man. So it's been a long time since we recorded one of these music podcasts, but we back with it. I got my boy Warren here with me. We got a lot to talk about today, man. We got a lot. We haven't reviewed any albums for this year. I mean, but maybe that's a good way to start, man. We can start kind of analyzing this year so far, man.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so we're almost at June. This is our first kind of music podcast of the year where we're going to be doing some reviews. There's been a lot of projects that dropped this year, some major projects, to be honest. How do you feel about this year so far without diving into specifics like albums and stuff like that? How do you feel so far?
It almost feels like 2023 all over again, where like we just kind of didn't get anything too heavy or substantive that has really kind of like had us talking. Like I don't think there's been an album that's dropped this year that's kind of been like, yo, this is going to be in conversations of like, we're talking Grammy considerations or anything like that. And I kind of have a theory as to why that may be. My guess here, and I could be completely and totally wrong, but I think, truthfully speaking, I think GNX cleared it out the way. I think considering that GNX was not in consideration for any awards for the Grammys in 2024 because it came like right after the cutoff, it's cleared the field to kind of, I think the field has kind of like accepted that, like, listen, that album's going to clean up. So like, we're going to wait, let this year go by, and, probably some of the lesser acts are going to drop things here and there and whatnot. But like,
Right.
no, there's not going to be any sort of heavy hitters that are going to come this year. And I think that's largely due to GNX pretty much like setting the tone and the field recognizing that they can't compete with that.
Right. I kind of agree with you. The only thing I will say is because I kind of had to look at my my replay for 2023, and then I looked at my replay for 2022. This year kind of feels like 2022 more than 2023. Like 2023, we got Travis's album, we got Drake's last solo project. We had a lot that came out that year that I think was relatively good. I think J. Cole dropped that year.
I think with 2023, the delays for like bigger artists dropping were more so due to like market forces and like restructuring on like how like I think it was kind of along the lines of like people were trying to figure out ways to kind of incorporate bundles into like sales and everything. It was like a lot of manipulation
Yeah,
to kind of get the sales and like so a lot of like artists were kind of like holding off rather than like what's it? We can't compete. I think the reasons for why certain artists withheld because like yeah, you're right. In 2023, quality came just later, much later into the year compared to like now. I don't know. Like I mean, sure. Like who's coming? Like what's it? Wayne's coming this year, but like Wayne is like legacy rather than like you're checking for him to be like in any serious consideration for anything like. I mean, JID's coming this year. At least we think so. But like, yeah, nobody in like the upper echelons of the genre have dropped this year. Besides, like Drake, but Drake is like we'll get into that. But like, yeah, I think every like you're not gonna get the fall off this year. You're not going to get what's it, a Travis Scott or anyone else of that particular ilk, a 21 Savage, to kind of like follow up. I don't even think we're getting Future this year, and I think Future hinted at like another project.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. I think I agree. I just think the only thing, at least for me, it might be a personal thing, because the only thing I agree with is like I think some of the better albums of 2022 I didn't peep until 2023, like Metro Boomin's album or fucking there's another album that was that came out in 2022 it was Lil Baby's last project. Um, that I wasn't really listening to
The
heavy
trash
until
one.
23. You know what I mean? Yeah, his last one, not the one that just came out that we're going to
The
talk
one
about.
before that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. This year, it feels like you're right. There's people trying to find a new way to manipulate the streams and stuff like that because I forget whose first week sales I just seen. I think it was Pink Panthers. Pink Panthers is fucking about to sell like 20K or something like that, like 20, 30K. And I kind of thought that was crazy because I always feel like she was like a high selling artist, but maybe this is the time I should, fact check that before I say it. But I always felt like she sold units, like she pushed numbers. Like the weird bitches love Pink Panthers. So it's like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like maybe I just don't have a connect. I don't know.
I think the obsession around streaming numbers and everything like that has kind of like distorted people's perceptions when it comes to evaluating art.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned thanks to like people like academics and other people on the internet that like honestly like first week sales don't mean shit. They really don't. It's
They
just a
don't
way
mean they
for
don't mean shit until you want to like create a narrative around somebody. Like it
yeah,
doesn't like in the grand scheme you're gonna be like, yeah, it doesn't matter. But if like your favorite artist sells higher than an artist that you don't like, then you're gonna bring up first week sales and stuff like that. And it's like I am very dubious to those kinds of people who want to say that, oh yeah, first week sales don't mean anything, but will be quick to bring it up whenever like they want to like support their man's on a thing or talk down about another artist.
yeah, I feel that. I 100% feel that. I don't know. Do you want to get into it? Do you think now's the time to talk about that baby album?
Sure. If you want to, you can get started. As far as like I'm concerned, when it comes to that album, like what did you think initially when you heard the album?
I'm gonna let you take the floor on this. I'm gonna let you start it off.
I, I
I
will
really go ahead.
I will say that like it's not that I don't hate the album. I think the quality of the album is better than his previous output. That being said, I don't think I saved a single song from this particular album as well. And I think Bird would be the best person to also bring along to talk about this project as well because like we kind of share the same sentiment in regards to Baby as an artist now. Like there is no growth or development or any sort of like direction. Like when it comes to Lil Baby, I think My Turn set such a precedent that like any other it's the quintessential case of like the sophomore slump and just not being able to regain that level of steam since then. Because My Turn I'm gonna say right now, at least in my eyes, it's a classic. His debut album is insanely good, but anything that's kind of like dropped off, like that he's done since then, including that collab project that he did with Dirk and whatnot, you've
Mhm.
kind of gotten the sense of like, okay, this is the ceiling that he's kind of at as an artist, where it's like everything sounds the same, everything blends the same, and what he's saying isn't like kind of what Bird would always say. It's like you don't really be saying nothing, like he just be throwing words together, and it's just like that's how he kind of makes songs and shit. And it's like at a certain point we've kind of caught on, and it really just doesn't necessarily like it isn't working anymore. So that's kind of like my sort of like whenever I hear Baby's music, there's not really anything that like excites me, which is unfortunate because like after My Turn, I was like, okay, he's like the one. And funnily enough, I think to the broader hip hop landscape, he made one conscious song, and then people all of a sudden anointed him to be like the next voice of hip hop. And I'm just like, but why? He makes one song that's like relatively talking about a social issue that we're all aware of and everything, and suddenly
Right.
like he's that nigga now. Like he's never been that.
Uh, yeah, like to kind of dive in like what you're saying, like I do agree. I feel like Baby just kind of came in at a time where we didn't really expect anything from him, and he kind of underperformed and overperformed at the same time with like My Turn. Because even if you listen to My Turn, it sounds like his newer shit. He just be saying shit. Like I actually on this newer project, I got to really understand what y'all be saying when y'all be saying, yo, he don't be saying nothing. Like I see it now. Like I really see it. Like the nigga